Sundays, where we show up live on YouTube, and we talk about life from looking at things from a spiritual point of view. There we go. And I'm just waiting for the team to turn up. So at some point, Mason will be with us, and maybe we'll be seeing Jeremy today. I think it might just be me and Mason. And if you were watching last week, or you watched last week's video, you'll know that what we talked about was the difference between esoteric religion practices and exoteric religion and exoteric practices. And we did get, we got some comments. Some people enjoyed that conversation and found it interesting. And the reason that we wanted to raise that and have that discussion was because it really does make a big difference, knowing the different, the meaning of esoteric and exoteric. As I've actually seen esoteric being used in a way which I thought was a bit odd. Some sources that I was looking at this week, where esoteric was kind of used in terms of, well, it's kind of mysterious and it's strange. But actually, if we'd really been accurate about the use of esoteric, at least the way we were talking about it, is esoteric is referring to the inner experience of doing a spiritual practice. And exoteric was looking more at the, like the outward forms. So, yeah, that was what we were looking at. And so what we agreed to do, here comes Mason, is to do an esoteric practice, which is to, when we're meditating or when we're reflecting or whenever remembered, we're focusing the attention on a point between the eyebrows, right here, where you'll see sometimes a bindi mark. People from India will do that. Not just people from India, but if you want to remind yourself of your third eye, there it is, right there. And there's a practice where you focus your attention on there by lifting your eyes up, either with your eyes open or your eyes closed, and just focusing your attention here as if you were looking out of your third eye. Hi, Mason. And so I was just talking about the practices that we've been doing over the course of the week around focusing the attention on the point between the eyebrows, around about here, where you lift up your eyes and you're gazing at that point as if you're looking out of the point, or you're just staying conscious of the third eye as much as you can. So we all had a go at that over the week. Does that sound right? Have I explained that correctly?
No, definitely. You can hear me, right?
Can you hear you loud and clear?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good, perfect. Microphones. Yeah, just practicing this third eye, getting familiar with like what is a third eye, what's a third eye meditation, like holding it, like kind of focusing the energy on either like the physical part of your body, physical part of your brain, like front here, or like what visuals might come to you, what your imagination says. And just seeing what happens every time. Maybe it's different for everybody, and maybe it's different every time. It was different every time I did it. It's like it depended on kind of what circumstances was going on, what I was thinking about, what I was trying to figure out in a way of. Yeah, it was a good practice though. It was cool. It was good. Yeah.
Are you there, Jeremy? I think I can hear you. We can't see you, but I think you're here.
I'm here.
There he is, getting himself in his chair.
Yeah. Yeah. The third eye I actually noticed it brightened my day quite a bit by focusing on that. I noticed that the colors appeared more vibrant, and it's generally a lift. It's quite a lift for me.
Yeah, I just so actually I was using those words actually. I felt there were times when, because I live in, I'm in London and it's kind of dark here early now, and the city seems really, really full of people at the moment. It seems like just it feels like there's more people than ever before. And sometimes you can feel a bit dragged down by that, but by doing this practice, I felt kind of lifted up. Like I felt like I was surfing the energy of the city rather than kind of wading through it. So there was this lifting up sense, and I felt, yeah, I felt energized by it. I also found my mind, it wasn't like, 'cause sometimes with spiritual experiences, especially if we're talking about esoteric spiritual experiences, people can get into. I know I did anyway when I was certainly quite a few years ago. I was very thrill seeky, and I was looking for something that was going to be like fireworks and thunder and lightning and kind of like, I found the thing, this is the thing. But actually, I found it was much more of a gentle kind of being lifted up at the same time as feeling a bit more kind of solid in myself, a bit, more, I was more being lifted and feeling more grounded at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 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 definitely. It makes sense. How I feel like it in my mind is I, I, I resonate with what you're saying a bit. It to me, it's always I feel like more I sink into this meditation or whatever, it starts to feel like an epic visual. It starts to feel like an epic journey, or I'm getting this grand download. And I feel kind of charged about that. I feel like my imagination is got like rocket fuel in it. I feel I feel a lot of times when I practice meditation, the mind's eye or the third eye, the visuals come along with it. I really try to give into that. I really like that. Like, what can my mind kind of see? Like, how do I interpret my feelings, or do I use my imagination and just like put myself into it? So, like for example, when I was one of the third eye meditations, I pictured the light, right? And I'm picturing holding light, like kind of around here in front of my eyes, kind of like on my head, like in my crown chakra, like outside of me, feeling like what this, like just playing around with this light, right? Just trying to have some play to it. And as I kind of envisioned it getting bigger, like I pictured like myself coming into the light. Like I pictured my body like floating through light, almost like a movie or like an anime show or something, right? But to me, that's how it makes sense. When I was going into the light, I started to visualize myself like losing darkness. Like as I got closer to the light, I was like shedding darkness, and it became this like linear thing, right? The more I gave into it, oh, I could see I'm going towards this light, and it looks like I'm coming from like darkness or chaos. And so I just visualized that for a few minutes, and it felt cool. So I continued with this meditation, and I felt like once I was enveloped into the light and I became kind of light myself, I started to move backwards towards the darkness as if to take some of this light to that dark place. And like this is that energy I'm talking about. I felt like epic. I feel like, oh, that's a metaphor for life. I feel like once you kind of stop yourself, look at the light, whatever that means to you, you listen to people, you find spirituality, like you do the self-development, fill your own cup, and then you take your strength like back to those who need it. So to me, that had this epicness to it, but I also felt by the end of it, like I was so grounded and so solid in my seat. And like I feel like I got a lot out of that from like imagining like a pea-sized light in front of my eyeballs to that. And that means something to me in life.
Wow, what an experience! That sounds, that does sound epic. That really does sound epic. Yeah.
Right.
So, oh, Jeremy,
Yeah, that's an epic journey,
Like, thank you,
Mason.
guys. Yeah. Thanks for thanks for saying so, Jeremy. It feels good to tell you guys like that you were interested, right? But and so something else I want to say to it too. I spent a lot of time trying to ritualize or make a meditation or a prayer a ceremony. Like I thought the build up to a meditation had to be epic to get some type of visual like that, to get something out of the meditation. And that's kind of just not the case. I found that actually over time tired me out and pushed me away from meditation. Oh, I got to sit in the right position, sit in the lotus thing here, which it's very difficult to do. I can almost not even do it. Get a stool, like have everything quiet. But this meditation I was telling you about, I've put a lot of practice into just casually doing it. It doesn't matter what the buildup is, just like a really light, any place, anytime, sitting in a chair, lying down, any practicing accessing that like at all times without it being a big deal. I had to like say that too because it sounds like I got a lot out of it, but it's kind of a subtle thing. It was fun. This is cool. That was a cool one.
okay, so I mean, you've raised so many things there. For people who are watching this and they're like experienced meditators, there'll be quite a few things that maybe they'd want us to talk about. And you know, in terms of, you know, do you sit cross-legged? Do you sit on a chair? You know, what's a good time to meditate and all that? So there's a huge conversation around that. But what I'm hearing and what I'm very excited about is how this practice, obviously we're not trying to promote a particular practice, but and at the same time, I think it's important for everyone who's got a third eye, which is everybody, to understand a very simple practice you can do, which can, you know, you saw the light and you felt yourself going towards the light and you felt that you were bringing that back with you. You know, somebody else might have a more prosaic experience where they just kind of feel, okay, that was slightly frustrating. I couldn't keep my eyes focused on my third eye, and all these different thoughts kept coming in. So somebody could have that experience as well, but it's just with this continued practice, because that's why it's called a practice, you can get to the point where you can maybe do that, and it's not such a big deal to connect to you know, a very essential part of our energetic system. If we want to understand ourselves on a holistic level, we're going to understand ourselves as physical beings, but we're also going to understand ourselves as non-physical, energetic, spiritual, whatever kind of words you want to use.
Yeah, you can practice that. I mean, you can practice it anytime. It's a great versatile meditation because you can practice it while you're walking. While walking, going through, you're going through a forest or walking on the street, and you're tuning into your higher planes. And so with that, it's quite spectacular.
What do you mean by higher planes? Maybe we should unpick that a little bit.
Higher planes.
Mm.
There's different planes that we're multidimensional beings. And there's, let's say, if we focus on love, we're in the love dimension, and we have the ability to focus on many different dimensions. And so, if we are focusing on the third eye, we're bringing everything up higher. So our perception we're bringing our perception up, and maybe, for example, looking at, if we're walking on the street, sometimes we might be looking down at the ground. Sometimes we might be looking at people, and sometimes we might be looking at higher. And so that difference in perspective, it's all about perspective and perception. And so as we go up higher, then we start noticing higher things. Maybe something in a building, maybe something bird watchers experience. So there's this whole world that's up above that we tend to not notice as much unless we're looking up.
So there's a few things come up for me. I think maybe if I might try and play devil's advocate slightly in terms of
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine some of the, and if anybody's wants to ask questions, then please do. We'll be very happy to answer those. Two things. So you're not saying that when I'm doing this practice and I'm walking, I have to have my eyes looking up all the time. It might be,
No.
it might be just that I'm thinking about looking up,
Yeah.
but obviously staying aware of everything that's around me, but also keeping my attention on this place here, where there's a point of light that sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's a little silver star. Sometimes it's a little silver star with indigo around it and a kind of a golden halo around it. Sometimes you can't see anything at all. But you can do that with your mind's eye as well. So you're focusing on that. You're not literally walking around going like this all day long.
No. I mean, usually it means that your eyes are up a little bit, but they don't have to be.
I mean, if you practice holding the light in front of your head like this, and you use your awareness to imagine light there or hold that light, like if you just try to do that right now, imagine light in front of your third eye. And as you do that, try to pay attention to what your eyes are doing. If you use your third eye, watch how your eyeballs, like they lose their focus. Or if you remember what you ate for dinner last night, like while you're thinking about what you ate for dinner last night, try to pay attention to what your eyeballs are doing. They kind of just drift off and don't focus on anything. So it's like you can do that, right? It's getting in touch with that awareness and allowing that, right? So your eyes may go where they feel to go, and that's okay. Whatever helps that visualization come more into focus.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think and I think it's because, our mind and our consciousness, our awareness, all these what makes us us, so it's beautiful and multifaceted, but something happens when we focus that. And as we focus our vision, it becomes more pure. Like all of our energy can go into that, and when we're sitting in meditation and we have to adjust and like our body cries out to us because it needs to move, we pause our meditation, we pause the visualizations, we just put that there, tend to our body, adjust, and we come back in with 100% of our focus. Someone says something, we're thinking, we like take some of our focus to tend to that, and then we return like back to the meditation. So this practicing that we're doing is practicing that muscle of like tend to yourself, tend to your senses, tend to your thoughts, allow it, and then come back to your full vision in this. So
Yeah. And sitting down is different, as a different meditation, right? Sitting down or laying down. Plus, we can also close our eyes. We can keep them open, as in the Buddha recommended keeping your eyes open, but we can also close our eyes and focus in that same spot.
Yeah. And
if you're walking, I would recommend keeping your eyes open.
yeah, I mean, you'd have this lightning bolt realization, like synchronistically as you walk into a telephone pole, like ding, and you get this message. It's doesn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that focus, that ability to focus on like what's in front of you, like is the stop sign say go or walk, and then kind of come back into that space, your imagination, your heart center, your body, looking through your third eye, like in your imagination or like at the world in front of you. That skill gets more interesting with practice. So yeah, I wrote some words down. I wrote a bit of a words down, and I thought we could listen to before we go into our practice today. Do you guys want to start that now? Is it a good time to just explore that now, and then we'll try it or
Yeah.
talk about it after?
Yeah.
What do you think, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Just before we do, just to clear up on a practical thing, how often did you do the practice and for how long for?
I do it
four
every day.
times.
Sorry, Mason, go.
I did this one 4 times this week, like 4 times trying to sit with it. And I probably sat with it for about 5 to 15 minutes each time. But then when Jeremy just mentioned, like, I do this every day, like, yeah, there's a part of me that does this a little bit every day, right? Like little parts of this. I don't want to sound like I sit and meditate for hours every day and I have so much experience, but I think about this, practice this, or feel a little bit of it every day. Yeah, but the homework was like 4 times this week. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I do it every time I meditate. Every time I meditate, I close my eyes and focus into the third eye, which is twice a day, in the morning and in the night, for half an hour or more, depending on the time.
Yeah. So mine would be similar because Jeremy and I we follow the same teacher. We have the same practices. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And then
study under the fellowship. Yeah, the fellowship.
the self-realization fellowship, with
Yeah.
Paramahansa Yogananda, and then the other one is I would just kind of, when I'm out walking, like for a period of the time when I'm walking, I'll just anytime, just going to the shops, like walking around the supermarket, standing in line waiting to buy my groceries, kind of, instead of getting caught up in which is the longest queue and how long is this going to take and all of that kind of stuff, kind of sitting there and just like kind of lifting my attention up without doing that with my eyes, because I would feel self-conscious doing the eye position with my eyes open in a supermarket. Although I live in London and no one would care. I mean, no one would say anything, but it's me. I sort of self-police around those things. Yes. So it's a very flexible, I guess it's a really flexible practice.
Yeah. It's very versatile. It can be used in anything. Literally.
Yeah. And so I guess what we're doing is encouraging you at home to start getting to know, if that's something you're familiar with and you're already doing that, we'd actually love to hear from you, because I think it would be great to talk to other people and find out what their experience is. And then if it's something new as well to you, and you want us to answer some more, we're not answering the questions that you've got, then, just drop us a message and we'll get back. We will get back to you. We do answer the messages.
Yeah.
and then Mason. But yeah, what was it, Mason, that you wrote? What came down? What came through for you? What did you write?
I just thought about like yeah, like this skill of vision, almost like the kind of like an art form, like the art of vision, you know, the art of silence, the art of being peaceful, the art of like inner work, whatnot. So I kind of just practiced. I tried to make some notes while I did it, and I thought maybe I could just share that a little bit now. It's just a couple, and then I thought we could do a practice, and yeah, it kind of came through me in that way, and now it's gonna kind of come through my notes a bit. I'll try and share my experience that day as best as I can right now, but let's just I'll just say a few words, and then let's just try a practice together. Should we?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. You guys ready? Okay. Kind of in I wrote some of these words, but we'll introduce what I brought into the present moment as well. And in this present moment is some of what we talked about, this casual nature. No need to make it epic, no need to make it grand. We're just here today. So I always start by saying, just please get comfortable. Make yourself comfortable. Get as comfortable as you can. Get attuned to your breath. And okay. So I wanted to talk today about like just vision, just the skill of vision or the art of vision. And I don't just mean the vision with your eyes, as we've talked about, I mean your inner vision. And I mean perhaps the kind of vision you have in your dreams or like a third eye vision during a practice. Maybe it's a combination of those. Maybe it's a combination of how feelings somehow take shape or form in your mind or your mind's eye, however you interpret your inner process. So right now, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes and describe like what you see to yourself. I want you to try to close your eyes and think about like what you can see. I don't want you to think like, you know, I see nothing and my eyes are closed, can't see anything. If that's the case, just allow that and allow that to come and go. And then try again to take a look without any judgment inside. Try to just look at like what you can actually see within yourself, however you can see it. Do you see light or darkness? Do you see any shades? When we were single-celled organisms, this was all that we could see, light or darkness. That's kind of how the first eye was formed. It was only able to decipher light from dark. This is essentially how we survived. We were attracted to the light, so we moved towards the light. Single cells organisms started to realize when they moved into light or moved into darkness, different ones would be safe, different ones would be in danger in darkness. So this is how we started. This is how we started in nature. This is how the first eye started to form. And with this vision, this is how every organism on the planet evolved into what it is. So if that's what this vision can lead to, then where will this vision like take you in your personal life? As we discussed before, energy flows where attention goes. Things grow when we give it our attention. So a question is to think about is what will you grow with your vision? What can you direct your vision at? Can you direct it at an inner wound? Can you direct it at an idea you want to bring to the world? Or is it something that somebody said to you earlier? Did somebody say something to you earlier and you want to put all of your focus, all of your vision, all of your inner vision on it inside your body to see if you can get some other meaning out of it other than surface level thoughts or reactionary emotions? Maybe you could bypass emotional reactions with this vision. It might seem simple, but some things are actually worth a really deep look. And so I found it's interesting how simple things can actually get more complicated and more detailed as you look at them more. But I also found it's interesting that complex things can get simpler the more you look at them. And so a benefit to this skill, a benefit to practicing this art of vision is that it brings simplicity to your focus. It brings simplicity to your focus. And when you apply your focus on things, things change. The saying, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And so this is what I wanted to discuss, and this is what I wanted to introduce to your feelings today. And so, having said that, I see your eyes are still closed. Having said that, I want to slide in or glide in to a bit of a deeper, a more gentle practice. One for a few moments, you could hold something in your mind's eye. And I'll speak less so you can focus more. But if you would, try to pick something and hold it in your mind's eye. And we'll look for just a few moments together. Try to pick something that's coming up for you naturally. Try to pick something that's coming up for you that you want to think about, that you want to meditate on, that you want to visualize. Or allow something that's coming up on its own. Allow anything that's coming up on its own right now to be present in your awareness. Try to hold what's coming up in front of your third eye. Try to send some love, some appreciation, some gentleness to that which is coming up. Now simply try to hold that which is coming up. Hold it in your mind's eye. Hold it and cradle it, giving it the chance to express itself. Allow that which is coming up to sit in your mind's eye and show itself to you. Allow it to reside with you. Allow it to take the form, to take the shape that it wants to take. Allow the feelings in your body to happen as they naturally would. Allow the natural processes of your body, of your nervous system, of your brain, of your heart, and of your cells process these feelings as it would. Your body's very intelligent. Your DNA has millions of years of wisdom. Allow that to curate that which is coming up, that which you are allowing in your third eye, that which you are allowing in your awareness. Whatever's coming up for you, look at it and allow the feelings to be felt. Try to subtly notice if anything is changing about what you're visualizing. Is there something coming up that you're realizing slowly? Is there something coming up that you're supposed to think about? What is this feeling trying to tell you? Is anything changing as you're listening? Look for any changes in the form of what's coming up. Look for any changes within yourself. Notice if you're comfortable in this moment. Notice if you're okay with everything. Perhaps you can move on from that to other parts of this experience. Has anything arisen in you now? Is anything sitting with you now? Has it changed since you took a first look at it? Since you first noticed it arise during this practice? Are you any more comfortable with what has come up in your body? Are you any more confused? How does it feel to hold that which is coming up in your mind's eye, in your hands, in your mind? How does it feel to place that which is coming up in your physical hands with your mind? With this ability to notice and look at that which comes up, as we practice this, the skill will change. Your inner vision will change. Possibly life circumstances will change. It could start from here. I wanted to introduce you to that today. And I welcome you back to the space collectively where we'll open our eyes when you're ready, where we'll pay attention to our breath to ground ourselves as we do when we enter a meditation. I invite you to begin paying attention to your breath with more awareness, perhaps taking a deeper breath, getting more oxygen into your body, stimulating more awareness, stimulating more alertness. And take another deep breath if you can, if you want to, if you're comfortable, and open your eyes and take notice of how you feel in the space, in your space right now? And so I hope what you feel. I see that you've opened your eyes. I see that you're opening your eyes, Jeremy. I don't want to interrupt if you're letting things sink in. Actually, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thank you.
How do you guys feel? Can I ask now?
I feel quite refreshed. I don't need, you notice, I think I need to get more sleep actually, because during these meditations, this is why the upright position is really good for me, is because, I will find I go, "Whoa," and then the body wakes you up again because you're sat upright. Yeah, so I feel refreshed. We can talk about, there's a little thing you can do with your hands that can keep you, if that's something that people also experience, and I'm sure they do. There's a position we can talk about later that helps you stay awake. But yeah, I feel refreshed. I was drifting off at times. I wasn't always knowing exactly. I was going into that kind of lovely sort of in between state, which is lovely to surrender to actually in a guided meditation. I love to do that.
Yeah. It makes me wonder. I wonder, if what the words of the meditation, say I'm guiding it, and as you drift from like this state alertness to kind of drifting into that theta or those brainwave states and into the meditation and then eventually into sleep, do you think like your subconscious gets programmed in there? Do you guys think that? Yeah, that's how it works, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
So I could imagine like if you feel refreshed now, I could imagine going into 6 to 8 hours of sleep as if you just were. Like if we could have just got a pillow under you, Mike, and put the blankets over, it feels like that'd be great.
Well, yeah, I guess it might be quite nice for us to do an episode which is about, the end of the day, and sort of we could maybe one that people can go into deep sleep afterwards. That could be quite nice because the way that the kind of, having a meditation at the end of your day, or all kinds of different practices that we could talk about. There's so many different things you can do to ease yourself into sleep in a way that's like really regenerative and happy, and makes you happy actually and healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you were asking about what was coming up during the meditation as well. I don't know, Jeremy. What about you?
It was nice. I found that you left enough space for wondering, to wonder, to process. And I noticed
Mm-hmm.
at times I was noticing my body, and at times I was noticing my mind, and I was noticing vision. And there was this kind of vision where, at one point where, when your eyes are closed and it could be considered to be dark, but actually it's not really dark. There's actually like a fuzz there, like a television screen without any picture on it. Remember when TVs used to fuzz out?
Yeah.
So I had a point where I could see the fuzz, and then there's gold and different colors that came into it at one point,
Nice.
and then back to the body.
Yeah. So that's the cool part about focusing on what you can see, right? And like, did those colors turn into anything else? Like I'm wondering. It's since our channel and this group is about practicing and coming and sharing what we do in practice. Like, what was what I discovered in those words I wrote, was it helpful to practice this? Like my idea, like you hold one thing in your mind, things that come up, you hold it, and the more you look at it, see if it changes, or uh you can like embrace it easier if you just look at
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
At one point, I had emotions come up as well.
Okay. How was
And
that?
so
How was the experience doing that?
it was interesting to see what kind of colors the emotions brought up.
Hmm. I know in somatic therapy we do a lot of practice where it's, what comes up and it's in your body, and what color is it? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it smell like? Like if you could apply your senses to it, what is it? And then of course, what is it saying to you? So yeah, it's interesting that colors came up for you.
Yeah.
And I went into some kind of subconscious, kind of dreamlike states, and that was when my eyes, rather than being tilted up, they kind of tilted down. Because when your eyes look down, that will tend to bring you into sleep and make you drowsy and take you into the subconscious state. So that's quite, for me, that's quite a useful thing to become aware of the eye position. So the eye position upwards tends to keep you conscious, and then when you drop, and actually, if you struggle to fall asleep at night, it's a good thing to do. Is just like look down, because it'll tend to bring you into sleep.
Those are really like subtle parts of our human nature, but interesting, like really, really interesting, that your body could react to the position of your eyes, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, I just kind of, I would have loved it. I mean, okay. I think it would have been great to have come into that kind of understanding. It's very simple, isn't it? It's like understanding your body in a physical sense and understanding your body in terms of the interaction between the physical and the energetic body as well. It seems like something that really we should all know about, as when we we come to live here in on earth, and we've got bodies, is to kind of understand that there's a whole other level of your being that's beyond your physical being, which we're very in touch with when we're little kids. We're very in touch with our imagination, and we're very present, and we're very in the moment, and our senses are working really well. We're kind of mostly, for most people, there's an aliveness about that childhood state, and I think at some point, probably in early adolescence, or as you're becoming an adult, it'd be great to get to know yourself as an energetic being as well as a physical being.
Yeah.
Any age, really. I mean, it just kind of, my mind often does that, where I go, oh, I wish I'd, I kind of wish I wish I'd had more time with these practices. I wish I'd discovered them earlier. That's just the way
You
I'm
know,
wired, that's kind of me.
no, no, those are valid feelings. Those are valid thoughts. I feel like as we evolve, as the human race evolves, this stuff becomes more natural, and then we teach it, like we're creating it and then teaching it to the next generation, right? And yeah, I feel like a few generations ago, there's new discoveries, some people made, and we're like, oh, I wish everyone knew about this, and then it spreads, and then we evolve and grow. And yeah, I hope this is just a wave of evolution where in the future human beings are so in touch with their energy bodies that they can go in and change things and modify their emotions like just with thought. And I don't know, maybe we evolve into that like in who knows how much time, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool discovering this and like feeling it's so new, and then we share it with other people, which is it's almost like a metaphor for what I was talking about at the beginning, right? Like you come from darkness, you go into light, and you bring the light back. It's like we discover these practices to maybe teach it to other people, teach a brilliant idea of ours to another brilliant person who then like makes it grow even more. And like now that thing gets passed on to another genius, next generation, and that's like my mind like goes there, right? Like I want to sit and meditate on this and like, yeah. Cool, Mike.
Yeah.
Cool, Jeremy.
Like it's a vision for the future. It's very Star Trek vision. And then the thing that, the other thing, yes, doing this for the week, maybe with a bit of extra attention to it because I knew we were going to discuss it today, is the other thing that really occurred to me was as you begin to focus and you become aware of this point between the eyebrows, what we're calling the third eye, and you begin to at least even just begin to realize that you can focus on there, and you, even if you can't see a point of light, you just kind of bringing your attention there. That's actually a portal. It's like a gateway into noticing wisdom when wisdom turns up. So that means that things that maybe I noticed, things that maybe I'd been pondering, like what does that actually mean? That would become clearer for me. And the other thing that was happening for me as well is, my life circumstances actually started to change in a positive way.
Yeah.
Like really subtly, just very, very, very organic kind of growth and change. Somebody suggested something, someone pointed me to, I got an idea for something else that I could do, managed to get myself a little bit more organized than I normally am. I found really practical benefits to it as well.
Practical benefits to this meditation we're talking about?
Yeah, just things, things shifting, maybe noticing an opportunity, seeing an opportunity more as an opportunity rather than something that might seem a little bit out of reach or a bit scary sometimes, so feeling less stuck if there's a feeling of being stuck as well. I think, often we feel like, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Well, being okay with the step back and enjoying the step forward, just this gradual change and more kind of positivity, feeling more able to meet the challenges of the day. All of those kind of things, like subtly, I've just noticed more, and then it comes back to that buoyancy, feeling a little bit more buoyant in the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Would you say if you had a situation or like, something you're thinking about that you want more clarity on, right? That you mentioned, would you say that if you think about it with your mind, that's one way of going about it? And then if you meditate, third eye, hold it in there, like portal to more insight on the topic, like, do you think that's another way of looking at the same thing you're dealing with to get more
Yeah, it
insights?
is.
Like, it's almost like you have, two tools, two processes, you feel that way?
Yeah, it is.
It's cool.
Because it's also the center of the mind, rather than flashing on the left and right hemispheres. You're focusing the energy in the center, and that center is a stable, conscious. It's the seat of consciousness there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just like this idea of having more tools in your tool belt, so that you can be unstuck. You even mention it, Mike. Like I don't feel to get out of this stuckness because you have another path. Something else you mentioned too, Mike, the seat of the consciousness, the oblongata, how this comes in there. You guys know more about that than me, but Jeremy just mentioned it.
The
And it sounds like
medulla
it's related.
oblongata. Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the seat of consciousness, that being the seat of consciousness.
More or less.
Interesting. What do you think, Mike?
So what Jeremy's talking about, the seat of consciousness being in the third eye, and the medulla oblongata being like a gateway for energy coming into our energy system and into our body. So almost, that you can imagine, you can add in as a practice, you can imagine energy like a kind of a golden, a white to golden light that's pouring in through the medulla oblongata, which is just where the base of your skull meets your spine. And so that's one of the, again, that's understanding understanding yourself as a multidimensional being. Well, what do we mean by multidimensional? We could say, well, okay, there's a physical dimension. I know there's my flesh and my bones and my skin, and then there's this energy body that is inside of that. And the energy for the energy body is coming in through this point at the base of my skull. Do you know? I don't know. I'm just thinking in the Matrix. When they plug themselves into the Matrix, don't they plug into the medulla oblongata? It's there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they pull it out and they
Yeah.
come.
Yep.
Yeah. I just clicked there because there's a lot in the Matrix, isn't there? Yeah. So that's where we're plugged into cosmic energy. It's coming in through the medulla oblongata, which means the mouth of God. That's one way of talking about it. It's called that in some traditions. But essentially, I'm really enjoying the conversation because what we're talking about is something that I think it really ought to become just common knowledge, is understanding how your body's energy system works. So I only learned about the medulla oblongata maybe a couple of years ago. And when I first encountered the knowledge about it, I was just like, my mind sort of skipped over it as if it wasn't that so important. And I found it kind of difficult to understand the significance of it. But then by doing practices, then you have experiences. And then trusting your own experience and realizing that actually things are actually changing. Sometimes I feel like it's not. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting nowhere. And sometimes I feel like something's changing for me. That process of doing the practices changes your experience.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry to interrupt, Jeremy. The other thing I want to say, sometimes it takes a while and it's like you don't get the answers right away. And in therapy, I say a lot of the time, it's like it goes like process, then progress. So it's like practice, process, then progress, right? Because many times in my life, I've been frustrated when it's not progress. Sometimes it has to be like process, then progress. Like exactly what you're saying, Mike. This like slow trial and error, figure it out, evolve on your own, hatch out of the egg, get to the ocean, struggle. But then you go from like, darkness to swimming in the ocean. So it's maybe that's what life's about. Yeah, this helps. Yeah. What were you gonna say, Jeremy?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finding the process is part of the progress, but it doesn't often feel like that right away. It takes time to experience the changes over time. Anytime as we meditate, as we focus on something, then the changes are subtle often, and sometimes after a time, anytime, then they become more profound.
So practice leads to profundity, like profoundness, sort of.
Yeah, practice leads to profoundness.
That's a cool, like it sounds like a catchy little phrase thing, but it also sounds like a truth of the universe. It sounds really like it rings true. I don't know. It sounds a bit grand to me.
Yeah, practice is profoundness,
Yeah.
or
Practice
practice
leads to
leads to
profoundness.
profoundness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Evolution in one word. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. Well, believe it or not, we have now been live on YouTube for an hour.
Oh, yeah.
And we're so we can, I think, do we want to finish with a guided meditation for this week? And we also actually need to decide, what practices are we going to sort of do over the rest of the week that we're going to discuss next Sunday. If we're continuing with that format, I'm just sort of throwing things there now. So we're probably going to go a bit over the hour, I think.
Yeah. We could do third eye one again. We could do heart meditation, focusing on the heart for a week. Focusing on the third eye again. I have no problem focusing on third eye. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good one. And you're really good at it. We could practice, yeah, like Jeremy's, the heart brain coherence, like heart brain, like the heart. I like the heart brain coherence where you kind of focus on your heart. Yeah, focus on your heart. You focus on feelings of gratitude, appreciation, love, respect, kindness. You focus on that. You hold that like in your heart, in your mind's eye. And through that, you release the good chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, norepinephrine. Like you get that cascade of good brain chemicals happening when you focus on these positive emotions, which the oxytocin, dopamine, serotonin, those chemicals produced by the brain have healing effects on the body. And so like that we could practice, right?
Yeah.
That maybe we could practice. I don't know.
Like it, yeah. Yeah.
I know we usually hang out for 40 minutes. We've gone well over time, so I don't know. I'm just feeling like rushed to come up with another practice for next week, or we could, I guess we are now.
Well, I think I kind of went like that because I had this idea, which I thought was, well, if we practice, we can go and find out whatever technique we want to use for dropping into the heart space and being less centered. So we've got the third eye. It's the kind of habits that stack on each other. So you focus on the third eye. The more you do that, the easier it gets. And then think dropping into the heart area simultaneously and going, okay, what does my heart tell me about this situation? Because I know for myself, I've become very heady, like really trying to see all the different angles and think things through. And what happened for me when I was focusing on my third eye, it was more like you have to keep letting go of your expectations. Like something exciting happens and the mind wants to hold on to it. Something hopeful happens and you want to follow that. But you just drop it and come back to the present moment. And so why don't we just experiment with what helps us drop into the heart area and open the heart and listen to the wisdom of the heart? And then we can report back next Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, sounds simpler than what I described for a moment. It's good. Yeah. Simple, profound practice. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we're gonna how we drop into our heart space, how we drop into presence, how we drop into our heart space.
Yeah, let's find out. Yeah, if we all make a commitment to experiment for the next 7 days, and then we can come back and we can discuss, what came through for us, and for each one of us it'll be something different. And for you listening at home, then there's plenty of information out there on the internet about how you might do that. So maybe you can find something that works for you.
Yeah.
And we'd love for you to come and join us and share your experience as well, either live on the actual broadcast or the live stream, or in our little discussion group that we will be going into pretty shortly, which you can find the link at www.coursesforspirit. That's the FOR, the word courses, FOR, spirit.ca. That's a C and an A. It stands for Canada.
Yeah.
Do we have time to finish with a meditation before we briefly jump into the private chat?
We do. Okay. So make yourself comfy. And your eyes can be open, your eyes can be closed. And when looking at the third eye, we can shift our eyes left, right, up, down, and just for now, just looking just up a little bit, not so much that your eyes strain. And as you're looking, you might notice blackness, you might notice color. Whatever you notice is okay. As you're looking, you might notice that your eyes strain. If they strain, you're looking up too hard. So let your eyes relax to the center. And now, often the eyes move around. They move around, they twitch left and right. At this point, try to have them just settle, just for a moment in the middle. So it's like relaxing your eyes as if you're looking through your peripheral vision. And taking a gentle breath. And now between your eyes, there can be a light. There's any color, any shade. And now move it a little bit further away. And a little bit further away. A little bit further away. Have it go so far away that you almost lose sight of it. And then bring it back just a little bit. And a little bit more. A little bit more. And now, as you're breathing, noticing the light pulse. Pulsing in any way that it pulses. Pulsing with your breath. Pulsing in any way. And when you're ready, making it spiral, it swirl in one direction, and bringing it far away again. Far away so it's almost out of sight. And then gently bringing it back. Again, have it pulsing. Pulsing any way that you need to. With your breath, focus on that spot. And now, bring that spot a little bit higher up. So your eyes are reaching up a little bit farther up. And then relax your eyes. So using your peripheral vision, so you're relaxing your eyes, looking at that whole space, noticing the colors or the light or the shadows dancing as they do. And when you're ready, expand that light even bigger. Have it swirling, expanding, and rolling around. Taking a big breath, expanding the light with the breath. So as you breathe in, the light expands, the light extends, the light expands. And eventually, that light expands to the edges of your vision. And when you're ready, focus on the center again, the point between your eyes, looking up and relaxing your vision, noticing what's there. Noticing what's there. Noticing what's there. And when you're ready, bring your focus to your center. Bring your focus of your third eye, expanding it. And bringing it in. Bring it in together. Very gently. Gently, gently opening your eyes. Trying to focus on the center. And gently bringing yourself to the room, to where you are. And when your eyes are looking, you might see other things. You might see auras as your eyes are staring off into space. And gently bringing your focus inside and opening your eyes, coming gently back to the room, and move your eyes around, left, right, left, right, left, right, down, and then up. That's one meditation. Thank you.
Oh, you're muted, Mason.
No, okay, sorry. I said, yeah, thank you. I said, thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. And I found myself squinting with my eyes closed, like trying to see what was
Yeah.
going on. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But the body reacts, right? The body reacts. It's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Okay, I think we should probably come off the live stream now. What do you think?
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks for joining us live, and thank you for watching the replay as well. Any comments, any questions, and maybe even more than that, we'd just love to have you share your experience of working with the body's energy system, about your spiritual experiences, the practices that work for you. Just get in touch, start a conversation. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mention about the hand position that helps you sort of stay awake. I know we said we were going to do that. So basically, it's just having your hands, instead of flat like this on your knees, turn your palms up, place them on your thighs, and what you'll notice if you do that, it just makes it like a natural spring, and and it helps you. You know, if you do nod off, it just helps you kind of like go woof, gives you a bit of extra support, so you stay on your chair.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Cool. Yeah, we'll see you everybody next week. Let's click off. Bye for now.
Thank you,
Next week.
everybody. Yeah. Yeah. Love community. Love you guys.